Welcome back, everybody, to the second episode of Peaked in Middle School. The first one was a couple days ago. We launched the channel. We got all the branding. It was really rusty. When I was editing the first one, I realized that I say quite a few times every single sentence. So
I say that a lot too, actually.
I'm going to try not to say it, but now that I address that, that's all we're going to be thinking about.
But also now that I noticed it, I'm going to notice it more.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty annoying. But
I say yeah a lot too. I've noticed that. Like you'll say something to me and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's normal because you're like,
yeah.
See, there it is.
I just said yeah too.
But yeah is more of a, I understand what you're saying, like keep going, you know.
Sure.
Dude, now I'm so self-conscious about what I'm saying. But yeah, so we just got back from a road trip. Kyle and I both flew back to Texas where I was living before this. We packed up all my belongings. We hung out with my buddy Luke. We filmed some videos, which will be up on my personal channel. So one thing that we're trying to do that we mentioned is we're trying to leverage my personal channel to grow this channel as well. So yeah, but we were in Texas and we had a road trip together, which
a lot of driving.
There was a lot of driving.
Yeah. It was, yeah, there's definitely some times that was great memories, but there was also times where I just really wanted to do anything else but be in that car.
So by the end, we were so sick of driving that from Portland to Seattle, which is like, I'd say about like, I don't know how long it was. 3 hours, something like that. We literally played this guy named William Hung on Spotify the whole way, who's this absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's terrible.
Well, he's kind of good, though.
He's kind of good. Like, he's good in his own way.
He was on American Idol, and he's known for just being one of those people on American Idol that just aren't good. And so apparently he's got like 3 albums on Spotify. Four albums, okay. Yeah. He's got a Christmas album, too.
He basically just does covers of a bunch of, like, really famous songs.
He's like, I Believe I Can Fly, and, like, We Are the Champions.
Yeah. And he has, like, 6,000 monthly listeners still. Yeah. And his last album came out in 2008. Yeah. So he's a beast. Check him out.
Yeah. We were kind of going insane at the end just listening to William Hung.
Yeah. That's the only thing that got us through the last few hours.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, our first stop was in Albuquerque. We saw Walter White's house. Oh, that was cool. It was all fenced off though, because I guess people throw pizzas on the roof. If you don't watch Breaking Bad, then you wouldn't get it. But
yeah. It was really cool. But apparently they get really annoyed. They have like a giant fence that's probably like 8-9 feet tall all around their property, and it's really weird because it's not like it's a isolated house. Like it's in the middle of a neighborhood, and it says like there's a sign that's please don't bother us, take pictures from the street or whatever.
Yeah, that would be annoying to have people always taking pictures of your house. Like, ugh.
I feel like you could leverage that though. Like if someone moved in there and wanted to like become famous, they're like, I live in Walter White's house.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like having really people. Annoying. Yeah.
Then from Albuquerque, we went to Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas, dude. That day, in one day, we checked off like 4 things from Kyle's bucket list.
Most of them weren't even on my bucket list, but they ended up being on my bucket list and then immediately crossed off.
Yeah.
So like we went to see Walter White's house in Albuquerque, and then we were in Vegas. We were staying with my dad. What was the other thing? Oh, I jumped off the stratosphere, which I didn't know this. Apparently, it's the tallest building west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy because I thought the Columbia Tower was, but I guess that's taller. So we went on 2 different rides. I didn't want to go on any because I'm kind of a pussy. I feel like as I've got older, I've got less and less into like crazy rides. But Kyle convinced me to go on. We
kind of peer pressured you into it.
Yeah. Kyle was going to jump regardless, but there was a deal where you could like basically do another ride. And if you're not familiar, like the Stratosphere has 4 rides, I think,
3
on top.
Well, 3 and then jump.
3 and then the jump. And so we went on this one where you literally spin in circles and then it moves you off the top of the building.
Yeah, you're like hanging over the side of the building, like spinning in a big circle. It's like a big octopus kind of thing.
Yeah, and you're 110 stories high, just facing the ground.
That was more scary than the actual jump, I think.
See, that's surprising, but
yeah. And I got so dizzy right away. I really thought I was gonna throw up. Oh my god, my voice.
And right after we got off is when Kyle was supposed to go do his jump, and he was like, didn't feel good at all.
Yeah, and then we went down and they strapped me into that suit and it basically signed my life away.
And all of this footage is documented in a video on my personal channel. So if you guys want to see Kyle jump off the building,
go check it out.
It went
by really fast. I honestly barely remember actually jumping off and landing. Like it just all kind of.
Would you rather jump off the building than go actual bungee jumping, like off of a bridge, where it's like a free fall bungee jump?
I'd rather do that. I think it'd be more fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of like that adrenaline stuff. I want to go skydiving. I want to do bungee jumping. So, yeah.
Also, Kyle lost a bet, and Kyle thinks he forgot, but we're gonna hold him to it. So, our friend group all through high school, we would always bet on things when we would hang out, and the loser almost always would have to eat a habanero pepper.
I've never lost.
Yeah, so Kyle's still never tried a habanero pepper, but we wanted to bet on the football games that were happening over the weekend, the NFL playoff games, and so we bet on it, and somehow I beat Kyle. So he gets to try it. And I was saying I think it'd be more fun if he ate it on the podcast and then did a whole episode.
I don't know if that'd be fun for anybody. You'd just watch me in pain for a long time.
You'd just be like crying all slobbery.
Like I wouldn't be able to talk. You'd ask me a question. I'd be like,
your nose would be all runny. You'd be like snot everywhere.
It's like you ever like when you eat pizza like fresh out of the oven or something, and then you usually don't wait for it to cool off. You just kind of put it in. Yeah, you deal with the.
Yeah. I don't do that though. I don't get people that do that. I'm like, why don't we just wait another 2 minutes and then
like if I get pizza rolls fresh out of the oven, they're going straight in my mouth, and then I'm gonna burn my tongue, but I'm gonna go.
But there's like burning your tongue is the worst because then you feel that every time you eat for the next like.
My buns. My tongue's actually currently burnt from this morning.
Sick,
literally exactly what I just.
Kyle in high school or in middle school used to eat Hot Pockets for breakfast.
That's a weird phase.
Which is a really strange thing.
One time I sleptwalked and I made a Hot Pocket in my sleep.
Yeah, wait, what was that? Oh,
I've sleptwalked 3 times. The first time I just went in my mom's bed, and I just walked in and went in her bed and fell asleep, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm just here." And she's like, "Okay." And then I woke up and I was like, "Why am I in my mom's bed?" And the second time, it was the Hot Pocket. It was like 2 a.m. I remember waking up and I was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go make a Hot Pocket
before school."
Yeah, so I walked downstairs and I was about to make my Hot Pocket. And then I was kind of like, why am I doing this? And then I just went back to bed. And then the third time was recently. I woke up and started freaking out, looking for my headphones. And I was like tearing my room apart, just looking for my headphones. I couldn't find them. And then I realized, like, what am I doing? And then they were just sitting on my dresser.
Why did you feel you needed your headphones?
I don't know, but I was like freaking out about it. I was like, oh my God, my headphones. I can't find my headphones.
Dude, in high school, I think it was freshman year, one time I woke up in like a panic. I wasn't sleepwalking, maybe I was, but I woke up and I thought that I was really late for school without checking my phone. And I hopped in the shower, took a shower, got ready, got dressed, got in my car, and I turned on my car, and it was like 2:30 in the morning.
You started your car?
Yeah. Dang. And that's when I saw the time. But
wow.
But yeah, if we think of the other bucket list thing that we did, we have to talk about it because it was really cool, but I don't remember. We'll think about it at some point. Also, check out Kyle's attire. I think that's the coolest shirt ever.
Yeah. It was a birthday present like 5 years ago.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. I like those.
I want more of these shirts. These face shirts are real cool.
Yeah. I want the podcast to get to a point where like maybe certain days we wear certain things or like, I don't know, something with the attires that entices people to watch the video form. So maybe,
So if you want to see me in a different shirt.
If you want to see Kyle wearing a different t-shirt.
Come to watch the next podcast.
Yeah, that's a really bad selling point.
Yeah.
But so yeah, then Vegas, we went all through California, got really good beef jerky. And
we bought 6 bags of beef jerky.
We spent like $50 on beef jerky, which is...
It was good though. It was worth it.
It was worth it. And now we're back. And we are in the process of building the studio space, which I don't want to like sound like I'm always plugging it, but we're documenting this whole journey and everything will be on the other channel. So if you guys are fans of this, you should go check out the other channel. There's videos about it. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. And we're hopefully going to have it done literally within like a couple weeks to a month.
This should hopefully be the last one recorded in John's dining room.
Maybe. Things might, hopefully. I don't know. If shit hits the fan, we might do some more in here.
There's no wood to knock on.
Well,
we're recording
knock on the glass. So one of the things that we thought would be really fun for this episode, there is this trend going around on Twitter that I thought was really cool called Weird Confessions. And basically someone just tweeted out one day like, all right, weird confessions, let's hear them. And everybody is quoting the tweet and replying with just weird things they do that, and I don't know, it's kind of cool reading them because there's so many things that people do that they think are weird that you're actually like, wow, I do that too.
I read the list and I saw one where there was a girl that says she feels like she's on the Truman Show and she'll randomly like wave or like nod to things.
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time, but there's times where I'm definitely like, I feel like someone's watching me right now.
Yeah.
And I'll just like look at my sink and give a little nod, like, hey.
Yeah. We actually talked about that on the road trip. Like we thought about the possibility that someone is controlling our life or like a puppet master.
I think it's very possible.
What's up, dude? So we kind of have a list of, so what we're going to do is first we're going to go through some of the ones that I saw on Twitter. I made a list. Kyle hasn't read a lot of them, so we're just going to talk about them and see which ones we do. And I'm sure there's a lot that you guys do as well. So, and then we also both made a list of our own things, and we're going to go through like weird confessions.
I got a couple that I would be shocked if anybody else does.
Let's do those at the end. Right. Okay. So first, there's some really weird ones at the end, but let's start with some normal ones. So I saw one girl that said, I keep a bowl of oranges in my shower so I don't get sticky when I eat them. That's actually genius.
That's a smart move, but I feel like that's going too hard. Also, your oranges are going to get all steamy and warm.
Yeah, and moldy. I feel like they mold.
Unless she's just eating them every day. Only eats oranges in the shower.
Well, maybe she leaves them like downstairs and brings them into the shower. Like, I don't know if she leaves a whole bowl.
It's a lot of work for like not getting I don't even get sticky when I eat oranges.
Or you just wash your hands. It's not that big.
Yeah, that too.
But I have heard a lot of people do like I was going to say do eating in the shower. But yeah, that's like a common thing, I think.
I don't think I've ever eaten anything in the shower.
I know I have a couple friends that will watch Netflix in the shower, which is like
on what?
Like they'll like set the laptop on like the ledge where you step in and keep it away from the water and watch Netflix.
That's weird. I've never done that. That's kind of smart though. I've watched it like in the bath. Not that I take baths all the time, but
I don't even know.
I mean, when I'm in the bath, there's nothing to do, and I'm hot, and I'm just like want to think about something else.
You don't just want to relax?
Well, I mean, no. I just want to watch something.
I feel you. I feel like I always have to be stimulated. Like there's very rarely when I'm just like I just want to sit here.
Yeah. I'm always on my. It's bad. I'm always on my phone, or when I'm watching TV. I'm also on my phone, and I like realized that I can't even be entertained by just a TV show. I was watching a TV show this morning, and I was like, "Why am I on my phone?" So I put my phone down, forced myself to watch it, and it was like.
Did it feel more? Did you feel like you were more?
I mean, I followed the show more, but it wasn't.
Did you still feel the urge to grab your?
Yeah,
phone?
I did. I was like, no, I'm not gonna check it.
Yeah, I'm really addicted to Twitter, and it's bad. But all right, the next one we have here. When I'm driving and I see the person behind me switch lanes and speed up, I do the same thing so they can't get in front of me.
I don't really.
That's
do that. My sister does that.
I don't do that.
Yeah, that's how you get pulled up on and.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get like someone do a drive-by shooting on me.
You never know. Yeah, you never know with people.
And I believe in like good and bad karma kind of in a way. And I feel like if I'm just being a dick to someone, I'm just going to like miss the next red light.
Yeah.
Or green light, you know?
I get that.
If someone sneezes around me, I hold my breath for 15 seconds till the germs disperse in the air and go away from me. And I put that in there because I do the same thing when I walk by someone smoking a cigarette.
Oh, I do that too. But that thing about Vegas is when you're in a casino, you can't avoid it because it's all around you.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, I do realize that breathing in, like walking by one person smoking a cigarette is literally not going to make any difference at all. But I just don't.
Well, it just smells bad too. I don't like. Yeah.
I can't be in a parking garage for too long because I'm always afraid a giant earthquake will happen and the building will collapse and I'll be trapped. And I'll be trapped under the rubble and die slowly, even though I live in an area where earthquakes are extremely rare.
I've never thought about that in my life.
Really? Or at the bottom of a tall building, thinking like, dude, if an earthquake happened and this collapsed, it would all be on top of me.
No, I've never thought about that. But Washington, we were talking about it in the car. A catastrophic earthquake could happen at any moment in Washington.
Yeah, they actually, the science people. I don't know what the word is.
Those guys.
Those guys, they think that a huge earthquake is coming.
Yeah.
So
it'll destroy us all. Looking forward to it.
But yeah, I always, when I see movies of like, and there's like action sequences of like buildings falling over, or like Godzilla or something. I always thought I'd rather be at the top of that building than at the bottom. As weird as that sounds, because I feel like
die quicker.
Well, no, I feel like I'd have a better chance of surviving.
How would you?
Because it would fall down and you're like riding it down. Whereas if you're at the bottom, you just get smushed.
No.
You don't think that's how it works?
There's no way you're riding a building all the way to the ground.
I don't know. Never say never.
No. That would not possible. That would not happen.
Whenever I'm inside a building, I think of what would happen if there were to be a shooter come in through any of the doors, and I think of what I'd do and where I'd hide. I think that's pretty common.
I think about that on the plane too.
Oh, if there was a shooter on the plane?
Well, I mean, no, like a hijacker or something.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I would just want to just bum rush him.
Yeah, we talked about that too. Yeah. So many of these things. Like, if someone... What we were saying is you would think that if someone on a plane stood up like with a gun and was trying to hijack it, you think that everyone collectively could easily take him out.
Definitely. And we're all going to die anyways.
Yeah, like if he hijacks and crashes the plane, you're all going to die anyways.
Yeah, so might as well just all go for it, and like a couple of us are like probably going to die. But like my worry would be I get up and run after him, and I'm the only one that gets up, and it's just like, oh,
yeah,
I'm dead.
Yeah, but if everyone did it collectively, he might shoot 3 people.
Yeah,
but like
the rest of them are just kicking the shit out.
Yeah,
of him.
Exactly. I'm sure it's not that easy. I'm sure that in the moment you're like, and like don't move.
Yeah, true. Fight or flight.
Yeah, flight.
Oh my god,
that was bad. Okay, the next one. My car radio volume has to be on an even number or a multiple of 5.
I'm kind of like that. Not really with my car volume, but with my TV volume. But if it's not going to be 15 or 20 or 10, it's going to be 13 or 18. It's got to either be a 5 plus 3 or a 0 plus 3 or a multiple of 5.
That's really weird.
Does that make sense? So it's not going to be 12 or 11 or 16 or 17.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it's kind of
how it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, when you get stressed out and you're driving, do you turn the volume down?
Yeah, all the time. If I'm parallel parking, like I can't see if I have my volume up loud.
Yeah, it's so weird. It doesn't make sense, but I feel like everyone does that. All right, the next one is all doors and closets in the room got to be completely shut when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
See, it's not a big deal for me.
Come out.
I have heard sleep paralysis though, that if closets are open and you can like see them from your bed, if you ever get sleep paralysis, that's like a big factor because you'll like see something in the archway.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's
I got sleep paralysis about a month ago. It was the scariest thing ever.
Dude.
I didn't even try to do it. There's people that can like lucid dream.
Yeah.
But I fell asleep. I was like half asleep, and I remember like I was awake and my eyes were open, but I couldn't move. It was so scary. And then
did you see something, or you were just aware that you couldn't move?
I was just aware that I couldn't. Like I felt like I can't move, and I was just like laying there like, and then eventually I forced myself to move, and then I was fine. But I was afraid to fall asleep again, so I didn't sleep well.
Yeah. You have not been sleeping well. Kyle has not slept like at all.
I've been jet lagged real bad. I mean, it's
like
better
2
now.
weeks.
It's better. It's kind of good though because now I'm waking up early.
Yeah.
I used to just always wake up at like 10 or 10:30, but now I've been waking up at 8, which is great.
I've been on such like the same thing where I've been waking up really early, and I'm convinced that like I truly believe if you're excited for what you're gonna do in the day, it's so much easier to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I've been really excited to work on the podcast stuff and like been kind of running to try and train for this marathon.
That's another thing. We're doing a marathon we've never even done I don't think I've ever run more than 2 miles at once. We had a 5K in PE, but walked like half of it.
And then we just decided, you know what? We're just going to run an entire marathon.
I feel like it's mostly mental. Like if I just tell myself I can do it, then I can do it.
Right.
Obviously I'm going to have to train, but
it's one of those things where I was telling Kyle, I'm like, we were talking about it in the car. I'm like, yeah, but like, it's only like 5 hours, which like when you're running 5 hours is a ton and it sucks. But if you think about it, 5 hours,
like half our drive.
Yeah. It's like not even that long. Like 5 hours, you do something like you work for 8 hours in a day. So it's literally like half.
And that's what I was saying to you about jumping off the building. The lady said it was 17 seconds. I said, it's only 17 seconds of your life. but he didn't. I couldn't convince him.
Yeah, that wasn't a strong enough.
Yeah. John was trying to convince me. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're such a wimp if you won't jump off the building." I'm like, "Okay, how about you jump off the building?" He's like, "No,
I had to film it.
I'm just here to film it. Like, you could have still filmed at the bottom and then jumped."
I don't know. I don't think we would have had time. I love your impressions of me. They're getting better.
Yeah, it sounds like that sounds.
You
see?
Okay.
It sounds just like
No, I was doing you.
No, but no. Yeah, for
okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I can sing a whole song in my head without really knowing the lyrics, but I can't recite it out loud. So you know when a song is on that you've heard it 1,000 times, but you don't know the words, but in your head you know the words. Like you know what's coming in the song.
Well, like the sound of it. I don't know the words. But
yeah, but
it's like a rap. I'll be like,
but like once the rapper says the word, you like knew that was the word. You just didn't know it ahead of time. You know what I mean?
No. I don't think that really happens to me.
Like in Rap God by Eminem, obviously I can't sing along with the lyrics, but when he says the words, in my head, I know that those are the words. I just don't know them well enough to say them at the same exact time.
I don't have that, but I do have where my brain works faster than my mouth. It happens a lot where I want to say something and then my words get so mumbled and it's
and then it just you go like
I'm like happens all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm excited about something. And I hate when I have to do that, like when that happens in front of someone that I don't know well and they're just like, okay, this guy's an idiot. He can't even get a sentence together.
Like, bro, chill out. Yeah. I feel that. Okay, we talked about the one where she said, I think my life is being watched. And then they mentioned The Truman Show, which if you haven't seen The Truman Show,
it's a good movie.
Great movie. And
very
it kind of
interesting.
It talks about that whole idea of like someone's controlling your life and you don't know it. Okay, so this next one is easily, in my opinion, the craziest one that I read on Twitter from random people. And I think it's important to realize that this lady was like an old mom or like an older lady, so this was probably back in her heyday, but she says, since my first boyfriend and I didn't lose our virginity until we were 18, we started dating at 14, I gave him a lot of blowjobs. Sometimes it tasted awful, and he said, it can't be that bad. So I had him come into a Dixie cup and made him drink it. LOL. My nickname has been Dixie ever since.
Why would they nickname her that?
Exactly. That's what people were replying. We're like, bro, you should
nickname him Dixie.
Yeah. That's disgusting. That's literally psycho.
Yeah, I don't want. I mean, it's like a double standard thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want.
I don't know why any guy would agree to that.
Must have been desperate.
Yeah, geez, he really wanted that relationship to keep going. The next one is I stand in the mirror and make fake arguments or act like I'm a motivational speaker, and sometimes I make fake arguments and start fighting the air.
Oh, dude, I do that. I do that in the shower all the time. I win so many arguments in the shower.
What do you do? Who are you arguing?
Anyone
who
steps on my toes. They're getting argued with in the shower, and it's like hand motions. And
are these like hypothetical arguments, or are these things that are going to be a part of your day and you're like mentally preparing yourself for?
Both. There's some where like I feel like it could happen. I'm kind of preparing myself for this argument, but then there's others where like I like want someone to say something to me, like I want you to say that I suck at something. I don't know. That was a bad example.
So you'll get like really like hyped up,
and then I'll just go after you in the shower by myself.
You're not like that in person.
No, it never translates into real life.
You're never like,
I'm a different.
Oh yeah, say it to my face.
I'm a different person in the shower.
I do that in the car. I just take normal showers. I will say I sit down in the shower sometimes when I'm really tired.
I've laid down a couple times.
with the water like landing on your face, or like
I'll like move back a little bit so it's like chest.
Okay,
but it's not that comfortable. But sometimes you just kind of need to lay down.
At
that point, you're basically taking a bath, but the water's just landing on your chest.
Have you ever fallen asleep in the shower while like sitting down or laying down?
No, it's kind of dangerous. Well, not in the shower. That's not dangerous. But
if you take a bath, I feel like it is. Because what if you fell asleep taking a bath and then you like your head just like slides into the water?
Yeah, but I feel like you'd breathe and you'd breathe water and you'd breathe water.
You breathe water, and then you'd wake up.
Yeah, you wake up.
Yeah,
but you'd have a mouthful of, or a lung full of, your lungs would be full of water.
There we go. All right. The next one. It says, I'm scared to use a flashlight at night because I feel that it's going to land on some weird monster/humanoid creature thingy, and that's how I'll die.
It's a kind of a specific fear, but
yeah,
I get that with windows, like opening a window
at nighttime.
Yeah, I'm you probably know this. I'm like afraid of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, what?
I think it goes back to, if you guys have seen Scary Movie 3, there's a scene where it's not actually him, but it's him, and he's in this little girl's room, and there's like a blanket over him. He's like singing, and then he gets up, and like Charlie Sheen comes in, and there's like a fight scene, but he's like dancing, and he's like hee hee, like throwing punches.
And it just weirded you out.
Yeah, and so it creeped me out. And then, just it was only when he's white though. Like white Michael Jackson, like really scares me.
No,
like,
I actually totally agree.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing against him or his music. Like he was a great musician.
Yeah, I love his music.
But like just
hate his face.
He did kind of scare me. Just hate his face.
No, like my sister, she made our desktop downstairs his mugshot, which if you haven't seen his mugshot, it's one of the scariest pictures you'll ever see. And I walked downstairs and I see that glowing in the dark, and I couldn't do it. I had to run back upstairs.
Wait, where were you going with that? Oh, you're talking about windows at nighttime?
Oh yeah. So my biggest fear was that his face would pop up in the wind. Like I'd pull the blinds up and it's just him, just right there
staring at you.
Yeah, like some people are like, "Oh, I'm afraid of like a clown." I'm afraid of Michael Jackson.
Well, fortunate for you, he's dead.
But that would make it even scarier because if he's actually back, it's like, oh my God, ghost Michael Jackson, double scary.
Also, side note, Kyle is convinced that Tupac is still alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's just remember that he still believes in that conspiracy.
That's another thing that I can go off on in the shower, where I'm just like, man, Tupac, no one ever saw his body. There's a lot of
all this evidence.
I have all the evidence. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go through it?
Or? We'll do conspiracy theories another time.
Tupac's alive.
Sometimes while I'm driving, I just okay, wait. This I didn't share it with you because I wanted to talk about it on the podcast, but this was the coolest thing I've learned in years yesterday. And when I read this, I was mind blown, and I did a bunch of research, and it's the coolest thing ever. So let me just break it down for you. So someone said, sometimes while I'm driving, I just acknowledge the fact that all these people around me are just out here living, going through shit I don't know about, and that will most likely never cross paths ever again. And which I think about that a lot too.
It's pretty woke.
Like you'll see someone and then you'll see someone and then you'll realize like I'll probably never see them again ever, and that their life is, they have their own shit going on, and like, you know. But then someone replied to that and said that's actually a real thing. There's a phrase for that, and they linked this website, which I'll talk about in a minute, but the word is called Sonder. And it says the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own, populated with their own ambitions, friends, routines, worries, and inherited craziness. An epic story that continues invisibly around you like an anthill sprawling deep underground, with elaborate passageways to thousands of other lives that you'll never know existed, in which you might appear only once, as an extra sipping coffee in the background, as a blur of traffic passing on the highway, as a lighted window at dusk. Okay?
That is kind of crazy to think about. That like I could just be in the background of somebody's life for like 1 second.
Yeah. And because it's weird because you see random people and you feel that way about them, but it's weird to think that like you're that way to other people.
Yeah. It makes you think, what do people think when they see you for the first time? I feel like there's times where I've just probably been doing something stupid, like laughing or something, or like just tripped one of my friends, and someone's like, oh, that guy's such a douche.
Yeah. And so this word Sonder, I thought it was really cool, and I was like, wow, like why have I never heard of this word? Because I've felt this way a lot, and it was cool. And so I went to the website, and let me just break this down. So there's this guy, and his name is
Sonder.
His name is Joe Koenig, and he's an author, and he created a website called the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. And there's 177 pages, and now the book is being published, and he created a bunch of words. He made a whole dictionary for emotions that people have experienced before, but they don't know how to describe it, that they don't have words to describe. So there's an entire dictionary, and I'll just read a couple, but I just thought this was like super cool. And I don't know, I'm like way more into the artsy stuff, so I don't know if you'll think this is as cool.
I mean, yeah.
But I think this is pretty crazy. So it says, this one I've related to a lot, but it's called midding. Feeling the tranquil pleasure of being near a gathering, but not quite in it. Hovering on the perimeter of a campfire, chatting outside. What?
I don't know why I found that funny.
You never heard of
There's like the feeling of just kind of like just being a little off to the side.
Well, let me read it.
I feel that.
Hovering on the perimeter of a campfire, chatting outside a party while others dance inside. resting your head on the backseat of a car, listening to your friends chatting up the front, feeling blissfully invisible yet still fully included, safe in the knowledge that everyone is together and everyone is okay, with the thrill of being there without the burden of having to be. So I thought that it's like really like artsy stuff, but like everyone's experienced that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think of old people when I think of that. Like when I'm with my like grandma or something, and we're all around and they're just kind of like sitting there and just kind of like soaking all like I created all this.
Yeah. Grandparents do that a lot where they don't
my grandpa used to always
much.
do that. He'd kind of just like roll up to us and we'd be outside talking, and then we'd be like, you want to come outside? And he's like, no.
And like they're totally content doing that. They don't feel like they're like being left out. Yeah. And I feel like I'm that way where sometimes I would actually prefer to just kind of be chilling on the outside looking in.
Same.
So that's the idea of the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. This guy created a whole book of words that didn't exist, and they're like all emotions. And then he did an entire TED Talk, and he created a YouTube channel, and he makes little short films about each word that he publishes on the website. He makes like a film about it that's like 2 or 3 minutes long that explains this emotion. And it's really cool because almost all of them, I feel like everybody's experienced at some point. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then there's just like 1 or 2 more, and then we'll get into our own. This one, I thought I was the only one who did this, but I found someone else and they said, I frequently find myself imagining the deaths of people I love, not because it brings me joy, but because I feel like I need to prepare myself for that day so I can handle the grief instead of it consuming me alive. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, sometimes. It's sad to think about.
Yeah.
I feel like even more so just in the past year I've done that, but yeah, I know that it's
sometimes I think about, I'm like, theoretically, if like my mom was just to die in like a tragic car wreck, like how would my family react and how would I react? Yeah. And it's super depressing and like,
I think about that
doesn't
too,
put me in a good mood, but sometimes when I'm laying in bed, like before I go to bed, I just think about it.
Yeah. I do that too.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
It's my best.
Man, you do a lot in the shower.
It all goes down in the shower.
Just take like 2-hour long showers and have like
I took a real
stages.
long shower today.
Did you
back to showering again. Sometimes I just like I stand there and just stare at the ground let the water and let the water just kind of land on me. Like
Are you like angry or it's just calming?
No, like sometimes I'm just not thinking about anything. Sometimes I'll space out and think about stuff, or maybe I'm thinking about that, or maybe I'm winning an argument in my head, but I catch myself. I'm just standing like this.
Dude, did you ever I saw this on Twitter, but have you ever like growing up, it'd be in the shower and you'd stick your arm out and the water would run from your head down your neck and out your arm, and you'd be Spider-Man with the water?
I do that when there's I had a lot of activities in the shower. If there's a hair on the wall, like I grew up with my mom and my sister, so there's a lot of hair in the shower, like a lot of long hairs. So I'll just be like, Spider-Man, get it off the wall.
Because you don't want to actually grab it.
Yeah.
So you just like...
Yeah, I'm not going to touch it.
I like that.
Yeah. I use my Spider-Man powers for good.
That's pretty
Getting
good.
hair off walls.
The last one before we go into our own weird confessions, I thought this one was really, really cool as well, because I do this a lot. But it says, I have the weirdest impulses sometimes. Like if I'm holding someone's baby, I think to myself, what if I threw the baby out the window? And I had the same thing, not really about babies, but like if I'm driving a car, I think to myself, like I have the ability to literally just crash into someone and like kill them or like kill myself.
Yeah, I do that too.
And
I think about that too.
Yeah, and it's not that you want to, but it's just like realizing that you have the possibility.
I know. Yeah, but with babies too. I'm like, what if I just spike this baby?
Yeah, it's like you have the power in your hand to like end its life.
Yeah, it's messed up.
It is, but
luckily I never act on those impulses.
Exactly.
Not that they're impulses, but
they're just like thoughts. Like and leading right off of that, someone replied to this and said, they said it's a real thing. It's called the imp of perverse, and actually everyone experiences it occasionally, some more than others. And so I looked up the definition of the imp of perverse, and it says the imp of perverse is a metaphor for the urge to do exactly the wrong thing in a given situation for the sole reason that it is possible for wrong to be done. The impulse is compared to an imp which leads an otherwise decent person into mischief. Which is pretty...
I feel like I think about that a lot. I feel like I'm one of those people that it comes into my mind a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time when I'm holding a camera, your expensive cameras, I'm like, man, I could really just destroy this right now.
Do you ever like hold your phone off of like an edge and be like,
Yeah,
I could just drop
I do
it?
that like sometimes on the ferry. I've done this before where I just want to hold my phone out over the edge.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not
You
gonna
get like a
drop it.
rush kind of like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
oh, I'm so sick. Yeah.
Or I'll be in a store and I'll like something I'm going to buy, but I'm like, I could just put it in my pocket and just like walk out.
I've
and
never
steal it.
stolen anything, even
Neither
from like
have
a store.
I've never
I'm afraid
stolen
to do
anything,
it.
I don't think. That's kind of that. I just thought this was a very intellectual segment.
It was.
We learned a lot. I thought those were pretty cool. So now we're going to go into some of our own confessions. And I'm going to let Kyle start because apparently he has a bunch of crazy ones.
I have
Or
a couple.
3.
I'll start off with the most normal one I have written down. I never walk downstairs. I always run. I always kind of just like do the like really quick steps downstairs.
Yeah.
Like the actual act of walking downstairs is so much more work than running.
Yeah, it doesn't
'Cause
feel
you have to, like,
natural.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, oh, this is so.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Because
just
you kind
like
of get momentum going when you go down.
yeah, and then I can go downstairs real quick.
Do,
I'd
like,
love
the
to challenge
stutter
someone to
step
it to
thing?
like a stair down race downstairs racing contest. Kick
Stairs
ass.
down
Yeah.
racing contest.
Um.
That's weird. I never even noticed that.
Yeah, I always do that.
I will
though.
say, even going up, I almost always kind of get a little kick in my
Or,
step.
like skip a step
like-
too.
Oh yeah,
I do that
big.
too. Although on your stairs, I'm actually a little afraid to. Your stairs have always scared me.
Yeah. So for people listening, my stairs in my house, they're literally glass. Like you can just see through
Yeah.
them, and it weirds a lot of people out.
Yeah,
But
and there's no railing either.
Yeah,
and
so you
like
could
you
just,
could just tip off the side and fall down.
also, when you run upstairs, are you a one-step guy or are you sometimes even a two-step skipper?
I usually my standard pattern is to skip one stair, but skipping two is kind of scary. Sometimes I'll get going. Like at my old house, when you just kind of have like your staircase memorized, you know,
Yeah.
you know how many steps it is. There's sometimes where I'll not even be looking at my stairs, and then I kind of like have a little hiccup, and then I like
Yeah.
skip 2 stairs, and I'm like, oh, I messed up.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever, it's like if it's dark at nighttime and you're walking down and you think there's another step, but you're
It's almost
actually on the
scarier-
ground.
yeah,
And you
I've
like
had that.
step and you like fall over because you think there's another one.
I've had that happen, but upstairs, I think there's another stair, and I step up, and then
And
I
then
just
you- yeah.
face plant.
Yeah, I've done that too. Okay, so that was your first one.
Yeah, so that's my most normal one.
Do we want to alternate or do you want to do it just all yours?
Which one of yours? What's your most normal one? We'll get into the weirder ones later.
Some of these aren't as weird, and I don't even know if they qualify as confessions, so you can. But anyways, this one you know, but I literally can only sleep like I'm in a coffin. When I sleep, I am on my back totally straight, and my hands are crossed across my chest, and I lay like this because, one, it's the most comfortable for me, and I read an article in middle school that said your sleep is more efficient if you're on your back, and it got in my head so much to where in middle school, I forced myself to sleep on my back because I'm like, I'm going to be tired if I don't, because I believed this article. And so now I cannot fall asleep unless I'm on my back.
Even when you're sick and you have like a stuffy nose, you still lay on your back.
Yeah, I prop my head up
Oh,
with like a bunch of pillows.
I don't like doing that.
Wait, when you're sick and you have a
I
stuffy
sleep on
nose,
a-
you sleep on your stomach
No, I sleep on my side, and then it all goes to one nostril, and then I'll flip over
and switch to the
and
other
switch,
nostril?
and I'll keep doing that, and then I'll wake up and yeah.
That's the worst, when one nostril is clogged and you can breathe through the
I
other
know.
one
I
fine.
know. Stuff. It's when you get. I read this on Twitter before. It's like when when you're sick, you take for granted the times that you're not sick and don't have
Yeah.
a sore throat or a stuffy nose.
Okay, what's your next one?
So this next one, I have this weird thing about it. When I read the one about the volume, like being at 5 or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
it made me think that when I listen to music, I go through the words of the songs in my head to like a rhythm of 5, and I'll use my fingers. So if you can see my fingers,
If you can't see, we'll try and describe it.
like what's a song? Someone Like You. I'll go, never mind, I'll find someone like you. I'll
Dude.
move my fingers to every beat or every whatever.
Yeah,
Syllable?
syllable that feels
Yeah,
natural.
and it's satisfying to me when I end at either my thumb, like someone like you,
Yeah,
or ending with my hands up.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
I do it all the time.
I don't do it like the same way, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And I'll do that too.
But then if I figure out that it's like one off, then I'll start double finger. I'll go, never mind, I'll find someone like you. So I end up,
so it ends.
yeah, and I'll do it every time I'm driving in the car and I'm listening to music. Even when people are talking, like sometimes I'll hear a phrase and then in my head I'll be like, no, 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 no.
It's like
I'll
a
do it on my
subconscious
fingers.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else who does it. It's weird.
You know how like you can kind of like tap your fingers on a table in like a smooth rhythm?
Yeah.
To this day, it pisses me off so much because I can go from the pinky to the index finger,
You
tapping
can't go
them.
the other way?
I can't go the other. Like I can, but it's not smooth. I don't know how to do it smooth.
I can kind of do that. Yeah, it's better.
Probably very confusing if you're just listening.
Yeah.
But
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's why you should go watch the video version. Okay, so the next one, I pick my gums and my eyebrows with my finger, like not.
You pick your gums
subconsciously.
with your
Listen,
finger.
yeah. So listen. So I'll like use my fingernail and I'll like when I'm just sitting focusing on something, I'll catch myself like picking at my gums, like pushing at them to the point where like I don't know exactly why I do it, but it's like it hurts to the point where I'm in pain, but it's like a good kind of pain. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of emo, but do you ever have things where you do like, will you ever like, I don't know, like if you pinch yourself,
I'll indent myself with my fingernails,
to the point where like it kind of hurts, but it's not to where you're like ow and you have to stop.
Yeah,
and it's like for some
you
reason
like
it's
the pain. It gives you a little rush.
I like the pain.
Oh yeah, my gums.
Yeah, so I pick at my gums and it hurts, but I just do it because I'm like I don't know.
Well, that's weird. I've never heard of anyone that like picks at their gums.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Okay,
what's your next one?
Okay, so my next one's the really weird one. So when I was a kid, I used to, if I'd be sitting in the backseat of a car, this is before phones and stuff, before I had to entertain myself with phones, so I had to look out the window.
What the hell?
I know, I had to look out the window. So I'd look out the window, and I would pretend that I was being dragged by a rope on the side of the car, and in my head, if I was going over grass, then it was like good. Like I would regain health. But then I would go over like someone's driveway and I'd be like ah, and then back to grass, and then back to grass, and then I went through dirt. It was like neutral. So I would lose health when I it was like a weird game.
Yeah.
So like I lose health on concrete and then regain it on grass and then neutral on dirt.
And then what if you were like, and then other weird things you'd make up in your head like, oh,
yeah,
this
like,
either hurts or
I
gains
just
health.
hit this pole. -10. I didn't have numbers really.
Could you ever like die, like lose enough health to where you're like, wow, I lost the game?
No.
Just kept going.
Just kept going. Just kept getting dragged along. But like when it was a long patch of grass, it was like just relaxing.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you just envisioned why were you being dragged by a rope?
I don't know. Well, I
harsh.
pictured like not being dragged, but like if there's a pole going out from the side of the car and I'm
like
holding on my knees, and I'm just getting dragged on my knees.
Like have you seen the videos of people that do like the water skiing, but
It's
just
like
on their
kneeboard.
feet?
Oh,
and they hold the edge of the boat.
Well,
with
yeah.
like a pole sticking out?
Yeah, but on my knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really weird. I like
That's what
it.
I did before phones.
Interesting.
So I
Okay.
entertain myself in the car.
That's like a really good one. This one, so sometimes if I am laying in bed at nighttime or in the mornings and it's really, really quiet and like no one's awake, you know when the quiet is so quiet that you can hear it, where you hear like a ringing almost, but the ringing is in your own head.
Yeah.
So when it gets really quiet like that, I kind of describe it as like hearing the quiet, like it gets louder and louder, and in my head, it continues to get louder to the point where sometimes I get so caught up in how quiet it is that I hear really loud ringing. And
Are you sure you don't have that like disease not disease, but it's like called
you don't
tinnitus?
have, like a brain tumor?
Tinnitus, where it's like always ringing in your ear.
No, because it doesn't always ring. It's just if I focus on it and I get in my head, I'm like, wow, it is really quiet. And I hear like and then it just like I focus on that and it gets louder.
I mean that happens to me, but it doesn't get like that loud.
Yeah. Okay, so another one, which I'm curious if you experience this too, and other people that play Fortnite. But when I'm driving in the car, if I see a tree, I think in my head about how much wood I would get from farming that. And if I look at like a tall building, I'm like, how many ramps would it take to get in Fortnite to get to the top of that building?
I literally did that today when I was watching TV. I saw something. I was like, well, that'd definitely be 2 ramps to get to the top of that.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I don't know if that's like a weird confession or more of just the fact that I'm addicted to Fortnite.
And I do that with Candy Crush. I'll play it in my head
when
I'm going
yes.
to bed. Like I'll have my eyes closed and I just see myself just swiping candy.
Yeah. Kyle and I, you especially, but you got me into it. But we had a phase where we were really into Candy Crush.
I still play it. I always end up playing it on the airplane because there's nothing else to do.
What level are you on? Like, are you at 1,000 yet?
1569.
Oh my god.
My sister's even farther, and my aunt too.
That is insane. That is dedication.
Just a family of Candy Crushers.
So yeah, do you have any more weird confessions? Because I have I have one more, I guess.
Not really, just like weird things about me. Like I swallow kind of loud. I swallow. My mom does it too. We swallow.
Do you do it like intentionally? Because there's ways to make your swallowing
if
sound
I try
loud.
to not do it loud, then it's louder.
Try it.
I don't know how loud.
All right, let's listen. See if you can hear it.
Was that loud?
Dude, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know. You might
be
able to hear everyone's
let's
swallowing.
see. That was a weird sound.
That yours was definitely louder.
Yeah.
But
I'm like insecure. I'm insecure to like drink water in like quiet places because of that. Because it's just the worst when you hear.
You're in a library, everyone looks over at you.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much, or like in class or something.
Yeah. I have this weird thing. Me and my sister both. It is extremely difficult for us to drink water and just like when you tilt it into your mouth to just make the drinking one continuous motion. So you tilt it up.
Chug.
Like, well, I can chug it, but like normally I'd grab the water and I'd tilt it and put it in my mouth, and then I have to like put it in and then I close my mouth and it sits there and then I can swallow it. I can't just
Does
tilt
that happen
it
when
up.
you take a shot too?
No.
Okay, good, because that
No.
would suck.
Yeah, but it's really weird. My sister and I both. I think it's because our mouths are tiny.
You got a small
I
throat.
I have a very small throat.
It's interesting.
But yeah, I don't know if that made sense. But anyways, I think I have one more. Okay, one more thing, which you'll also learn another cool word. I was just really into learning new words this week. But so sometimes, like I actually hope that some sort of disaster will happen in my life.
Yeah.
Not because I want to, but it's because like I feel like I've been so sheltered my whole life that sometimes I'm like, damn, I just wish like I would get shot. Obviously I don't want to die, but like get shot in the stomach and survive, because then I'd be like, I went through something and it's like I have a story to tell. Whereas now I'm just like, I'm white. I went to a good school.
White
and,
male from
parents happily married. It's like,
huh.
you know? And I know Jordan has mentioned that. He's like, dude, I just want to like something to happen. Like I want to get shot. Cause I'm like,
Jordan
I
just
got
wants
shot,
street
bro.
cred. That's why Jordan
Yeah,
wants
but
that.
I feel like street cred's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. No,
You know?
I think about that too. Like, man, what if like I just got jumped and just got destroyed?
Yeah. Or if I was in a plane crash and I survived and I was like the only ones that survived.
I also kind of want like a zombie apocalypse to happen. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I don't. Why do you want a zombie apocalypse?
Also, not that I want it. Like, I would want the slow ones, like the dumb zombies, not the ones that sprint. Like, if it's the ones from I'm Legend, I'm
Those
done.
sprinters,
I'm
dude.
dead. But
Yeah.
like, if it's like Walking Dead, where they're just kind of like stumbling around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those I feel like I could deal with. I don't know. I kind of just like, I don't know, just a little change.
Yeah, just mix it up and be like, I survived a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't really think there's any surviving it. It's kind
Yeah.
of just.
It was my birthday. I went out to dinner with my family, and I was gonna ask you, what is the first alcohol you've ever tasted? What was the first drink you ever had?
Well, first like alcohol I ever tasted was probably like a sip of beer when I was younger, but I don't really remember specifically.
Yeah.
But the first time I like drank, I was kind of a late bloomer. The first time I ever drank was in Europe when I was 18.
Okay.
So it was legal there too.
Yeah.
And like the first thing I had was a mojito, and like it was fun.
What even is a mojito? We both don't really
like-
drink that much, so I don't even know what a mojito is.
I think it's rum and
We'll
mint-
look it
mint-
up.
It's like mint and maybe some lemon or lime or something in there. There's
Okay.
definitely mint. I know there's mint.
What was it good?
Yeah, I mean it's
You,
fine.
like you liked
Yeah, it
it.
was alright. But like the first time I ever like took a shot was my sister made me drink a shot of tequila, and which is not the
Yeah,
first
oh,
shot to take.
yeah.
It was gross.
Let's see. A mojito is a cocktail consisting of white rum, lime or lemon juice, sugar, mint, ice, and sparkling water, club soda.
Got it.
Nice.
What about
Yeah.
you?
Well, I think the first time I ever this is really bad. The first time I ever drank was at a school dance. I didn't get drunk. I literally had like one drink, but I think I don't know. I don't remember what grade I was in, but
I think you were 19.
Yeah, because I came back from college to go to a dance.
And I know that and you don't.
Yeah, you knew how old I was. But I had a mixed drink, and I don't even know what alcohol was put in, but it was literally with Coca-Cola and some alcohol, and it was absolutely disgusting. It was terrible. And yeah, I'm actually glad because that really made me not really want to drink that much, you know? Like
Everyone has an experience where it just makes them not want to drink.
Yeah. And then the first legal drink I had with my family, I got a margarita. Good old margarita.
How was it?
It was good. I don't know. It was decent.
I'm still waiting. I'm not 21 yet. I turned 21 in March.
Yeah.
So
when Kyle turns 21, we are got him tickets to a Portland Trailblazers game. So him and me and two of our other friends are going to go to Portland, and we're going to make a video out of it, and it's going to be fun. And yay.
March 6th. Get ready.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you guys for watching. I think this went way better than last week.
Yeah.
Well, for sure. Than our first episode.
Yeah. We're getting better.
We are. I think I said like a lot less, but I probably still said it a bunch.
I noticed myself saying yeah. I say yeah.
That's better though.
I got to work on yeah.
But yeah, I thought I thought this went really well. I had a lot of fun. We're getting better. Please leave any sort of constructive feedback in the comments. Please don't tear us apart.
Tear me apart. Yeah,
you can tear him apart. Please don't tear me apart. Be nice. I'm too sensitive. But yeah, other than that, be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment. The more likes and comments that are on a video, it gets pushed more to the recommended, so more people see it. So when we're trying to grow a channel, it helps us out.
Yeah.
And
yep. Yeah. Wow. It said yeah 3 times.
Yeah. So that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check back again in a couple days. We're posting twice a week. The goal is to do it twice a week, every single week of the year. And that's all for now, right?
Right. Good work.
Where can they follow you, Kyle?
Twitter, KStaff36, KSTAFF36. Instagram, Kyle Stafford 36. I think you could figure out how to
Big
spell
36 guy.
Yeah. March 6th, 36.
Yep. And Kyle is going to start tweeting more, and he's going to be more active. Yeah. I'm going to force him to. You love Twitter. You just don't tweet.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Who cares what I have to say?
Dude, a lot of our listeners are going to want to see your tweets, Kyle. And then you can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Twitter and Instagram. And that's all we really use is Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook, but I said that last time. God,
yeah, why do you keep saying that? Don't follow us on Facebook. Actually, follow Peaked in Middle School on Facebook. I'm going to create a Facebook page for the podcast.
And SoundCloud, too.
Yeah, and SoundCloud. We're still learning how to do all this, so once everything's up and running, we'll let you guys know. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Have a great week.
Peace.